What is going on, WInDaily family? This is Tenacious D Jones, David Jones down in Atlanta, joined by my buddy Nick. Say what's going on, Nick.
Good morning to all, and I hope everybody had a wonderful Thanksgiving. Let's get rocking.
Cool. I'm already getting a ton of texts about the slate this morning. A lot of it has to do with weather. I'll try and give you a quick weather rundown. Some of our favorite spots are getting impacted here. I'm going over to, I'll give him credit, Kevin Roth. I'm looking at what he wrote up this morning about some of the weather. I'll just read what it says, and then Nick, you can kind of help me out. Nick just kind of helped me like break it down if you'd see anything different here. Tampa Bay and Jacksonville, breezy with a chance of showers. The wind looks like it's going to be close to 20 miles per hour, sustained. That's a lot with gusts around 30. Saying it can impact the deeper throws and kicks. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that was a game I had a lot of interest in, especially, if you're talking about guys that could break the slate at the wide receiver position. I love Chark this week. I love Mike Evans. Obviously like Chris Godwin. He got a big price bump on DraftKings though, and if it's 30 miles an hour wind, how is Mike Evans going to catch deep balls? That's got to be really tough to throw in. The one thing I do like, though, here is Vegas really hasn't adjusted the total at all. I think it opened right around 47, and we're still at 47. So they still like this game's ability to shoot out. So when in doubt, I'm just going to trust them. But, yeah, nothing feels good about all these games with different weather implications here. But if they're not moving the total, I think I'm going to stand pat on this game with all the guys I liked prior.
Were you on Winston and were you on Foles?
I wasn't on Winston, but yeah, I prefer Foles. On DraftKings, he's only 5,700. He's probably going to be right around 10% owned, so it's not like he's insanely chalky by any means. And you can't run on Tampa Bay. As much as I like Fournette, I like him more as a pass catcher, but Foles at 5,700 is tough to pass on.
Yeah,
against
it's pretty
Tampa
cheap.
Bay. Yeah.
It's pretty cheap, and Tampa's a good matchup. I don't know. I think I'm going to get off the quarterbacks here. There's other guys I like better. I know they're both in good spots. The one's scaring me. I like to try and avoid all risks, and I know the Vegas total hasn't changed, but I don't know. Maybe it will. We'll get back to it when we break down the game. Green Bay at New York. This one's looking a little bit worse. It looks ugly. Looks like there could be some freezing rain and snow mixed in. I'm looking for some wind update. Don't really see that, but it's going to be nasty with it's going to be a wet game, probably more of a running game here. How do you interpret that, Nick?
Yep, 100% with you there. I think everybody and their brother loved Aaron Rodgers and Devontae Adams going into this week. It's a perfect matchup. It's the same matchup that Trubisky and Allen Robinson just tore up a week ago. And yeah, this weather's going to be tough. I don't know how much it impacts Green Bay. I really didn't get into Aaron Rodgers and how he does in these brutal wintry mixes that Green Bay is always faced with. I think he's usually fine, but if it's going to be snowing like crazy, you really can't run like that. So I don't know. I don't think it's supposed to snow like crazy. I think it's snowing now, and then that's going to turn to that wintry, icy mix. I don't know. I'm with you. I think I'm just going to avoid the quarterback. So you could always use Devontae Adams. I just don't know. What's that ceiling like now if the weather's going to be this bad? Is it going to be 6 catches for 80 yards and that's it? Or can he go for the 8 or 9 catches, $150 and a score or two? That's the tough question here because he's got the best matchup on paper. He's got a great price, I think, on both websites. He's up there, but he's affordable, and he's going to get DeAndre Baker and Janoris Jenkins, who they cannot contain him. That's for sure.
Yeah, I lean more on the run game here with Aaron Jones, but we'll see. We'll touch on it later. And then also over in Oakland and KC, it's going to be cold and windy. 15 to 20 mile per hour gusts, over 30. It's kind of scaring me off Mahomes a little bit. I know they're still going to cream them. They're coming off a bye. Did Vegas adjust this total at all? What do you see in this one, Nick?
They did not. So sorry, I forgot that on the Green Bay game. They did drop the total 4 points, and that's a big number. So take that for what it's worth. Vegas definitely thinks this weather's going to have a big impact. So that one's scary in Green Bay or in New York there. But this game, I think the total is still – it did drop a little bit. I think we're at 49.5. It opened around 52. So that's another 3-point jump. So I don't know. I mean, Kansas City's still favored by 2 scores. And I don't know. It's like, okay, if Kansas City's going to go run heavy, who's it going to be, McCoy or Darrell Williams? So it's like that's tough too. It's very hard to invest in these situations right now. it's just tough for me to take Mahomes off the board, take Jameis off the board, take Aaron Rodgers off the board, and take Foles off the board based on weather. But because 3 of those 4 were my favorite plays on the week.
Yeah, I know, man. And that's some of these plays are going to be really popular. And it's just tough to interpret how the weather is going to mess with these guys, and if it's enough to get me off of them. And then lastly, the Jets at Cincinnati, a game I like to target a lot too. I think this helps Lev Bell. You've got 15 to 20 mile per hour gusts. It's not as bad as the other 3. I'm not fading it or anything. I'm still going to have plenty of Dalton. I'm still going to have Boyd. I'm still going to have Bell. I might even sprinkle some Griffin in there. But is that one you're worried about, or should we just move on?
No, I think we're good there because all the guys you said are the same guys I'm interested in, and none of them are really, you're not looking for Tyler Boyd to score a 70-yard streak route or anything like that. So all the guys that we like are going to be involved in the game, within 10 yards, and Wynn's not going to mess that up at all. Bell's going to get checkdowns and he's going to run. Boyd's a slot receiver. He's not going deep. So I like this. This game still is plenty fine for me, and there's no rain or anything like that, just some gusts of wind, and who knows how that goes on the field, especially in a dome, not a dome, but a stadium that's going to block some wind. I don't think this is anything to worry about.
Cool. Well, let's jump right in. I'm realizing again, I picked another terrible mug to drink my coffee out of. It's my wife's mug, so I need to start paying more attention to that. But I think I did it last week with a Ninja Turtles mug or something. But anyways, let's hop into Week 13. First off, we're going to go Washington at Carolina. It's got one of the best plays on the slate. You've got Christian McCaffrey here. You're obviously going to lock him in. Last week he was lower owned. We had some just because of the matchup. Look, he's matchup proof, and Washington's a great matchup. The entire offense runs through Christian. Even though DJ Moore has looked great and Curtis Samuel has looked good, I like him as a pivot as a wide receiver. Just put in Christian McCaffrey, figure the rest out. I know he's expensive, but if you don't have him, you're going to have a real hard time winning the big money today. I mean, he's going for 20. He could get over 30. He's going to get in the end zone a couple times. He does every week. I love him this week. I'm sure you do too, Nick. You just want to, nod your head and say, yeah, absolutely. You got some other plays from this game?
If you want to go with the punt play here, I like my 1 or 2 receivers under 4K. I do like Kelvin Harmon a bit on the other side for Washington. Okay. Obviously, love McCaffrey. I'm probably going to be 80-90% McCaffrey this week. It's just impossible not to build around him, especially with the value you get at QB that we'll talk about a little bit later. But it looks like Kelvin Harmon is going to get a lot of Dante Jackson from Carolina and maybe some James Bradbury. I think that's fine. I don't think this guy's going to break the slate by any means, but if Washington's chasing points, which they're probably going to be, I think they're a 10.5-point underdog. We have a very low total here at 39, but Harmon is one of those guys that's kind of popping on my sleeper radar, if you want to call it that, but he's just a punt play. If you do pay up for quarterback or you do get Kelsey and McCaffrey in there or something like that, you're going to have to pay down. So Harmon's one of those guys for me.
Okay, yeah. He wasn't really on my radar, but I'm looking at him now, and it makes a little sense. He's super cheap on FanDuel. I imagine he's even cheaper on DraftKings. I don't have the pricing up. I'll tell you, too, Javi is high on Kyle Allen this week. He's not a guy that I tend to go to, Kyle Allen, but it does make a lot of sense going up against Washington. He has a good game here, a bad game there. You just kind of have to land the right week. I personally don't think they're going to have to, rely on him a lot. But, of course, if they're winning big, then it's, Kyle Allen's got something to do with it. And if Christian McCaffrey's getting in the end zone, Kyle Allen can throw it to him. We all know Christian McCaffrey's a pass catcher. I'm going to throw that in there. And then Javi also really loves DJ Moore. I get that, too. He had 2 touchdowns last week. He's getting double-digit targets in every game. I think that's a great play. And Curtis Samuel was one of our favorite guys, before DJ Moore started going off the past couple weeks. I think you can look at him if you don't have DJ Moore, and I think it's okay to play one of these wide receivers with McCaffrey, and you can play him with or without the quarterback. I say that just because the wide receiver price is so cheap. It does make a little bit of sense, and I have actually seen that work this year with DJ Moore and with McCaffrey and with no Allen. So I think it's fine. And then as far as defenses go, I do like the Carolina defense a lot. Look, Washington's not good. Haskins looks bad. He's not getting any fantasy points. He's, throwing an interception 3. Oh, my goodness. He's got more interceptions than games he's played in. 3, 4, 5,
it's not
6.
Good.
Yeah, 6 interceptions in 5 games. That's not good, guys. Carolina defense looks good, and you can pair up that Carolina defense with Christian McCaffrey. It makes a lot of sense to correlate your running back with your defense. But aside from that, I'm not on any of these Redskins. I know McLaurin's a big play guy, but I'm not going to have room for him this week. I'm gonna skip over it. And do you like Carolina defense? Anything about them, Nick?
Oh, for sure. Yeah, everything you said about them. Haskins is terrible. Carolina's good at home. I definitely think they're in play. You have any interest? I know you were on them last week. I was a complete fade last week, but Carolina is the second or third worst run DVOA in the NFL. Do you like Geis at all or Peterson? I'm out on Peterson. I'll never play him. But I feel like if Geis was popular last week, maybe now's a good week to go back to it because he is going to be involved in the passing game I was hearing this week. But again, if you're just full fade on Washington, I'm 100% behind you there. I'm just thinking on DraftKings, he's only 4,500. Weather's not an issue here. I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to put him in any of my main lineups, but he's going to be like a 1 to 5% owned guy, and I think that it makes sense to go back to him in such a great spot when everybody was kind of on him last week.
Yeah, that's really smart what you're saying. I actually text Javi at like 1 a.m. last night and said, can we do Geis this week? It's our favorite matchup to target. He was off him somewhat. I get the play on DraftKings. Look, there's no way I'm playing him on cash. There's no way I'm playing him in like single entry.
Correct.
But like a millie maker, sure, you can throw in some guys just because that matchup is so good. But like you said, he is splitting with Adrian Peterson. But if he's in that receiving game too somewhat this week, I get that play more on DraftKings. But let's hop over to the YouTube channel, see what kind of questions we have. I have not been keeping up with it here. A lot of good mornings.
I hate the taste of chalk by Coop Cooper.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you're going to love the taste of that Christian McCaffrey chalk, I'm telling you. Let's see. Defenses for 1 p.m. only. We're going to kind of break that down as we go here, Tim. We're going to go through all these 1 p.m. games first, and then we'll circle back around and give you a defense. I kind of want to talk through it before we just, we've only talked about one game so far. Weather with Allen, if you're talking about that Carolina game, no problem there. Is Zay Jones a good play from Sony? Man, I have not even thought about Zay Jones this week. Is he on your radar at all?
He's one of the guys under 4K I like, but definitely not single entry unless you're game stacking it. Then go ahead. But he's more of a large field GPP for me. He's going to be one of those guys under 4K I like. I keep liking Zay Jones, but he just doesn't get the target. So I don't know. Derek Carr seems to be a guy that has his guys. It's Tyrell, Jacobs, and Waller, and then Renfro, but Renfro's out, so I don't know. Does that give Waller a bump up? I think yes, but these targets got to go somewhere. So Zay Jones, he's a talented receiver. I think if they're chasing 15 points all game long, yeah, I guess I do like Zay Jones a little bit, but don't do it in single entry unless you're game stacking.
Yeah, I wouldn't do it in like season long either, if that's maybe what the question is about too. The weather there scares me a bit with Zay Jones. Zay Jones is a deep threat guy. And I can see it being difficult to get the ball to him in these 30-mile-per-hour gusts today. So I'm off Zay Jones. The price makes sense. I'm with you there. I'm probably going to try and find someone else personally. I don't see any other questions on there right now.
We got one season long from Chris.
Okay.
It's I think he was in the chat last night asking the 1 point PPR, 2 RBs, and 1 flex. Chris Carson, Le'Veon Bell, for sure Le'Veon Bell.
Yeah.
Leonard Fournette, Chark, and Sutton. I'm going to be Bell, Fournette, and Chark, and I would not think twice about it. I know Fournette's in a hard spot, but if it's full point PPR, I think his player prop is, again, through the roof. Where's he at here? Leonard Fournette, 4.5 catches, 101 all-purpose yards, minus 165 to score. That is one of the highest values on my board right now. And I know it's such a tough matchup, so I don't know if I'm going to play him on DraftKings, but in season long, you got to start Fournette, man.
Yeah, season long, definitely start him. DFS, I'm not playing him. A lot of people are on him this week, and I totally agree with like PPR, good play, especially season long, but the matchup's too hard. I'm not going to target this Tampa Bay run defense. No one can run on him. Leonard Fournette, I mean, it's not Christian McCaffrey. I might play McCaffrey against him, but I'm not on him personally. But you know what? Let's bounce over to the next game. Cleveland at Pittsburgh. Notable injuries here. It's going to be James Conner's out. Juju's out. I don't have a ton of plays from this game. I think it's going to be very low scoring. This is the game where just a few weeks ago, Myles Garrett's ripping off Rudolph's helmet and hitting him in the head with it. These defenses are going to be pissed. I think it's going to be one in the trenches. Pittsburgh is going to know that they have to win this with defense. They're starting Hodges at quarterback. I do like the Pittsburgh defense against Cleveland. Besides last week, where Cleveland just had the nuts matchup, Cleveland has looked bad, and Pittsburgh defense has looked good, especially at home. Throw out that Cleveland game that we were just talking about 2 weeks ago. And if you're looking at the defensive scoring, 12 points, 25 points, 19, 13, 14, 11, 19, 11, that wins you your season long all year long. Give me Pittsburgh defense at a discount. And as far as like running backs go on the Steelers, I don't think I'm on him this week. Chubb, he's a great running back, but not on him this week. I think I'm skipping all the offense. You might have a different take on it though, Nick.
I'm for sure going to play a decent amount of Nick Chubb, and then when I'm not using him, I'm going to use Pittsburgh. It's just for more of my single entry GPPs. Chubb's going to be like a 1 to 5% owned guy, so I'm definitely interested in that. Nothing pops off the board here for Pittsburgh regards to, Vegas telling us who they think is going to get the starting role with props like Benny Snell, nothing sexy there.
Yeah.
And then Jalen Samuels, I guess, doesn't have a job anymore. So I don't know. Yeah, this game's probably a full fade for me besides the exposure I'll get to Nick Chubb in some lineups. And Pittsburgh defense,
I've heard a lot
obviously.
I loved Nick Chubb last week, and I think he's so talented. People just sleep on him. I don't know. I don't think this is the matchup I want him in, but I totally get it, and I respect that call. I've heard people talking about the Browns defense. The Browns defense really isn't that good, and they're down Garrett, and I don't know. I mean, I don't expect the Steelers to come out and score a lot of points, but I would prefer the Steelers at $1,000 cheaper at home than the Browns. But I don't think the Browns are a terrible play. Like, I get it. If it's a low-scoring game, they should pay off too. But I don't think I'm going to have a lot of them. Do you have any of this Browns defense?
I may have them in cash. I don't think that my builds need me to go that low right now, but they're going to be over 20% owned on DraftKings. So in a GPP, I'm a full fade on that. I don't think the Browns have the firepower to break the slate by any means. And if 20% of the field's going to use them and they don't do anything, that is a great way to get different and just let other people ride that ship. But
That's right.
I don't know. I mean, if that's the only, I refuse to believe that's the only way your builds on DraftKings can make sense is if you have to go with the Browns because the Ravens are only 2.8, the Chiefs are 2.7. There's just plenty of other places to go, in my opinion. But yeah, Pittsburgh's 1,000 cheaper on FanDuel. Yeah, load in Pittsburgh. I don't care what Pittsburgh ownership is; they can make plays. You see, Minka Fitzpatrick run something back for a touchdown every week, so use them.
Right.
I'm out on the Browns unless it's for cash because I don't care about ownership in cash, but I don't think you need to go down that road.
Yeah, guys, a lot of these tournaments are won with defenses. Like if you have one defense that, everyone's just kind of flocking to, but you don't think it's just an elite spot, you can get off them. That's what I did on Thanksgiving Day. I was preaching
the Bears.
all week.
Look at the Bears on Thanksgiving Day. They were like 60% owned and they didn't do anything.
I didn't do anything. I went back. I watched some tape on this Lions QB. I thought he looked pretty good. I know it was a highlight reel, but it was enough to scare me off the Bears. And I had people telling me the Bears are the best, like friends that aren't in DFS are like, Bears are the best, defense in the league. I'm like, man, y'all haven't watched football in a year because they are not really even close. So I faded them. I was preaching up the Saints. And that's really what won me the seat to Puerto Rico is just getting different with the Saints team over someone that's going to be really chalky. So I'm not on the Browns. I'd prefer the Steelers, but there you go. There's your take. Furious Styles is asking, is Ertz playing today? He is trending to play. Is that what you're seeing, Nick?
Yes, I believe he's going to give it a go, but we'll know at 11:30 Eastern what's going on there because there's nothing from Philly that is reporting anything right now, really. Besides that, he's saying he's going to play, but Ertz is a gamer, so
yeah,
I'm sure he's going to give it a go. I did love Goddard, but now that situation's going on, I don't know what you do.
Yeah, I still don't hate Goddard. He's still in a good spot, and if Ertz isn't 100%, and they're not going to really run the hell out of Ertz here against the Dolphins, I think Goddard could still be a play. But now you're just getting a lot lower ownership on him if Ertz is in. But we do have cheaper tight ends we like as well that we'll touch on in a little bit. Isaiah from Discord's asking, are you guys on Aaron Jones regardless of weather? I think the weather helps Aaron Jones. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, for sure. The only headache there is the timeshare, but I think LaFleur was saying they need to get Aaron Jones more involved in the passing game as well. I don't think he had any catches last game at San Fran, and that was a disaster. But yeah, no, I love Aaron Jones this week, especially if people don't have time to change their lineups around. I know a lot of people are busy and whatnot. I still think a ton of people are going to have this Rodgers-Adams combo.
Mm-hmm.
And you could just kind of get leverage right there by going to Aaron Jones instead. Maybe the touchdowns go through him. All those people with Adams and Rodgers have okay games, but Aaron Jones could break the slate at any time. And at 6.8K on DraftKings, ooh, I like that.
Yeah,
Weather should help him, though. Yes, I'm with you.
Yeah, weather should help him, and he should get more touches than normal today. Ron Lipford's asking, do we think Adams will, it's a prop question, have over 40 receiving yards first half? I don't know. I don't know. I haven't been keeping up with the prop, if it's gone up or down. I don't know what his full game prop is.
I could tell you. It is. He's projected for 79.5 all-purpose yards, 6 catches. So, yeah, that is split in half. I don't know. I think if it's – I don't know. I can't keep in on this question. I would take the over because I'm a Packers fan.
Yeah, that? So I don't want to lead you down the wrong path there, man. That guy, I pick a different prop. That game, the game just
flip a coin.
Ugly. Yeah,
flip a coin or don't play that one.
Hey there, Nick. Looking good today from Joe. I appreciate your article. Did you watch The Irishman?
I did last night. I did. I finished it all. It's incredibly long. I was expecting a little bit more, but it does go by quickly. So like it's a movie that's gripping from start to finish. But this is only going to be like an hour-long show today, so we cannot talk about The Irishman. I would go watch it. Call off work tomorrow, guys, and watch it. There you go.
Jonathan Williams thoughts. I think he's a solid mid-tier guy. I think he's going to get his points average, in the teens. I don't think he's getting close to 20. I don't think he's going to break the slate, but I also don't think he's going to kill you. Any take on him?
I liked him, but I don't know. Everything I read says that Wilkins isn't going to get more involved now too. Williams only has a 1.5 catch prop. He's he's plus 110 to score. I don't like that. I don't know. Tennessee's a good run defense. I know Fournette killed them last week, but everybody's healthy for the Tennessee D-line for the second week in a row. I think they play a lot better today. I mean, Jonathan Williams like the same price as Miles Sanders. I think I'd rather go Sanders there, and I'm an anti-chalk guy, but I'm going to go with Sanders.
Any love for Saquon? Me, I get the play. He's a great back. Something's wrong with him, though.
Yeah, man. I've been on him every single week. You just – like last week – I would have had a monster week with that Bears stack when I used Saquon on the other side, and Saquon just killed all of my upside in my lineups. Oh, man, that was frustrating. I should have destroyed the last Sunday slate with the Trubisky A-Rob thing that was going on because everybody else I put in my lineup went off. I had Christian McCaffrey, and then I paid down for Barkley, and he just didn't do anything. One day it's got to get right. Vegas still isn't giving up on him. He's got really good prop, 106 all-purpose, minus 125 to score. Green Bay's run defense is bad. But I don't know. I mean, if I'm the Packers, wouldn't I just make Daniel Jones beat me? If they have Evan Ingram out and Golden Tate out, wouldn't you just take out Barkley and say, all right, Daniel Jones, try to beat Aaron Rodgers, Aaron Jones, and Devontae Adams. Good luck. So I don't know.
Yeah, I'm going to run through these other ones real quick. Then we're going to the next game. Sam Darnold naked. No, I'd probably pair him with someone. I don't even hate pairing him with Fournette. Lev Bell. He catches the ball. Tate or Erickson. I think I go Tate in GPP. Yep. But I do like Erickson too. That's a tough one. I
just don't think Erickson has any ceiling. I'm going with Auden Tate. That guy can catch a touchdown or two.
Ravens D at home.
I'm
sorry. I cut you off.
No, you're good. You're good.
Ravens D at home. Yeah, I think we're all both going to like the Ravens D. But let's move on to the next game. We'll hop back and chat after a couple games. Philadelphia at Miami. I heard you talking about Miles Sanders. So walk us down that road.
For sure. So if you want to say it's a revenge game for Jay Ajayi, that's cool. I don't think he played any more than 20% of the snaps last week. And one of these days, like I know Sanders just missed that touchdown last week because Wentz threw it 15 feet over his head. That was frustrating. I did have a lot of Miles Sanders last week, and I hate playing him at chalk, but his price is right there. Miami's defense is awful in all aspects of the game. There has to be a day where they just let Miles Sanders be featured, and I think it's today. Maybe Jay Ajayi scores, a touchdown or two. I'm not too. I don't know. It's just that's the one thing that scares me is Jay Ajayi going to get the goal line work? I think Sanders is more than capable of doing it. But I don't know. I think regardless, Sanders is going to get 80% of the snaps, and he should be fine this week. I do like him. He's a lock in my cash games just because the whole field's going to have him. So I'll use him in cash, and I'm probably just going to fade this game in GPPs in general.
Yeah, man, I'm not as high on Sanders as everyone. There's another guy down there I like more that we're going to get to in a second. I mean, I totally get the play, but he's getting popular for Miles Sanders, but it's a good matchup. I get it. I'm going to have some, but not a lot. Jordan
Hopefully you can
Howard
talk
is,
me off him then. Yeah.
you want me to get you off, talk you off of him?
Yeah, whenever the game comes up and there's someone in that mid-5 range that I need, I would like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll point him out. He's going to be on my main lineup. Carson Wentz, not on him. Fitzpatrick, not on him. Other guys I like cheaper and more expensive. I think Alshon Jeffrey is in a sneaky spot. He's back. He's an elite wide receiver. Miami's pass defense is atrocious. He's going to get targeted heavily here with Ertz being banged up. I could see him just stepping right back in, getting 7, 8, 9 targets. He is the number one target in the red zone. I really do like Alshon Jeffrey at 6,500. He should be 100% here. And the Eagles, I don't think they're going to run away with it. I think it's going to be closer than people think, and I think they're going to have to utilize him. And then I also love Devontae Parker. This guy is a target monster lately, 11, 10, 10 targets the past 3 games. No touchdowns, but he's still getting, around 10 to 17 fantasy points. When he gets in the end zone, we win a lot of money. So I do like Devontae Parker as one of my top receivers on the slate. And then we touched on the tight end situation with the Eagles. I still think you can play Goddard even if Ertz plays. It's not going to scare me off, but he's behind like Doyle, and he's probably behind Higbee for me, and he's behind Kelsey and Waller. But that's pretty much all I got. I'm not on the Eagles defense, even though they're going against Miami. They're the highest priced defense, and they're the 32nd worst defense. There's no way I'm doing that. And then the Dolphins, you don't play the Dolphins defense. Anything different there?
No, I love Alshon Jeffrey, 5,100 on DraftKings. That is eye-opening to me. I think, he checks that box of a guy that could score 2 touchdowns. I always like to do in my GPP lineups. So, yeah, I love Alshon Jeffrey. Yeah, that's a great price. I'm in.
Cool. Green Bay at the Giants. We were talking about it. It's going to be cold. It's going to be wet. It's going to be snowing, maybe hailing. It's gross. Green Bay's used to those kind of conditions. The Giants, I mean, they're used to the cold, but it's going to be a low-scoring game. Nick mentioned the total dropped 4 points. The only thing I'm on here, Aaron Jones, going to get more touches than usual. Not on Rodgers anymore. Not on really any of these receivers from the Giants. I know they get a little bump up with some of the injuries that they have right now, but I'm still not going to go there. You've got a guy who's getting popular in Caden Smith, only $4,000. At the tight end position, last week he got 5 receptions on 6 targets and a touchdown, but he only got 17 yards with these 5 receptions. That's not good enough for me unless he gets a touchdown again. Devontae Adams, of course, he's elite. I don't know. I don't think he's going to go for over 20 points, and he's a very expensive wide receiver, and FanDuel and DraftKings aren't adjusting these mid-price wide receivers. So I don't know. I'm not really on him that much this week. Call me crazy. What do you got from this game?
I wanted to be all in on Devontae Adams. I still think I'll play him in cash if he's going to be 40% owned in cash games. So you're fine there. I think you could definitely get off him. I'm 100% with you. I'm leaning Aaron Jones now, and I was not on that all week. But this weather, I hate to be affected by weather, but yeah, I don't know. I'm all in Aaron Jones. If he's 6,800 on DraftKings, if he's going to get 3 or 4 catches, this should be a big game for him. And no one's playing him, so let's do it.
Yeah, I don't like to be affected by weather either. It kind of frazzles our morning up. But what we can't do is act like it's not happening. I'm telling this like all the subs that haven't played a lot, paid attention to weather a lot. You can't act like this weather's happening. You're going to pick these guys because they're in elite spots. You're going to turn on the game, and it's going to be snowing and sleeting out there. It's going to be a really sloppy, low-scoring game that's just they run it back and forth and keep trying to punt it. You have to adjust these things. There's going to be people out there that don't adjust, and that money's going to be dead if the weather truly is as bad as we're reading right now. So I know Adams is in a great spot, but hey, you've got plenty of other games and receivers to choose from that don't have to deal with these conditions, and that's what I'm going to do personally.
For sure. I mean, look at it like an investment, guys. This is your money. You're investing it in something. Wouldn't you want to know, like, make your investment as foolproof as possible? This weather kind of kills that. So, I mean, you could definitely gamble with it. Some of DFS is certainly gambling, but if we can get as educated as we can be on these games, I don't think you want to go all in on weather like this when there's other games, like David said, that are safe and have plenty of upside. On DraftKings, I'm looking at, all right, if I'm getting off Devontae Adams, I can go to Cooper Kupp at 7,100. Give me that. He's in a dome.
Yeah, I love Cup this week. We'll get to him shortly. Sorry, I had to grab my charger.
You're good.
We've got someone asking, Dalton's going to be super chalky this week. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he should be. He should be 50% owned. He's only $4,700, and he's a starting quarterback. I love him. Some people, when you see these great plays and great spots, and you think about them all week, sometimes you try and pivot off them. Right before lock. I'm not doing it. I'm playing Dalton, so he didn't even really. I mean, I think he throws a touchdown. I was saying earlier, I think the Bengals have a really good shot to win this game. Actually, it's hard for an NFL team to go an entire season without winning a game. People were saying the Dolphins were going to do it. Look at them now. Bengals are getting their quarterback back in Dalton. Dalton's going to be pissed. Dalton got benched on a team he's been the quarterback for 10 years. He's going to come in and sling it. I'm playing Andy Dalton.
And then with Zach Taylor, they passed the ball 40 times too, and I'm looking into Dalton here. Is this game means something to Zach Taylor? He doesn't want to go 0-16 or 0 whatever he's lined up to do right now. They haven't won a game, right?
Are you talking about the Bengals? Sorry, I was reading.
Yeah, the Bengals. They haven't won. Have they? Yeah, no. So I'm looking at this like this. All right, the Finley project's over. I want to win a game. I'm a head coach, first-year head coach. I'm not going 0-16. That's why Dalton's in today. I think they're going to give the Jets all they can handle.
Yeah,
and Dalton's gonna. If Dalton scores 18 points, that's 4x value on DraftKings. Just use him. I'm still seeing ownership projections under 10%. So I mean, sure, he's the chalk of the DFS Twitter industry, maybe, but do people actually invest in him? I don't know. I think people are gonna get cute. Just go with Dalton and get McCaffrey, and find a way to get different elsewhere. Maybe that chalk build is McCaffrey and Sanders, so maybe you can get off Sanders when David gives us another play later, but. Yeah, I think Dalton's going to be my main GPP quarterback and cash game for sure. It's just too cheap to avoid.
Yeah, someone's asking me what my favorite quarterback on the early slate is. My quarterbacks are probably ranked Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, and Andy Dalton. So there's that. Let's see.
Sterling Shepard too. I do want to talk about Sterling Shepard real quick. He's my favorite value play at the receiver position. I don't think the weather affects him as much. He's going to play the slot, and everybody can go to Caden Smith, I guess, if you want to. I'm out on that. But I do love Sterling Shepard, and he'll probably be a lock in my cash games too. But I'll have a lot of him in GPP, but me getting off this game kind of kills that. But I think if you need to save some salary, Sterling Shepard's your guy today.
So Sonny Nas, I do agree that Darius Slayton was a great play, but the weather, it's getting me off him. I wanted to play him too. And then Life with Chloe is Ryan Griffin, a FanDuel GPP. I love Ryan Griffin. I don't think it's the best spot for him this week, but I do still think he should be heavily targeted in a game where the Jets could be trailing, or it's at least going to be I think it's going to be close. So, yeah, you can get with him. If they get in the red zone, he's going to get a target. There are other guys at tight end that I do prefer, but I don't hate Ryan Griffin this week. What's up? What's up?
Rustling Paving said James Washington or D Johnson. I'm assuming Deontay Johnson as a salary saver. I don't like either of them, right? No one from Pittsburgh.
No, I'm not. I'm just not on the. It's going to be a low scoring game. I'll pick a different game.
Yeah, I'd say go out, go to Sterling Shepard or something. I think their prices are very similar.
Let's go to Tennessee at Indy. Notable injuries. Ty is not going to play. Walker's out for the Titans. We've got Williams at running back, who a lot of people are asking about. We mentioned it earlier. I think he's just kind of a middle of the road guy. The more I've thought about this game lately, there's a guy in here that nobody's on. He's going to be super low owned. I didn't want to be on him. I kind of talked myself off of him on the podcast. And I think we got to look at Derrick Henry. No one's going to play Derrick Henry. The matchup isn't very good, but this guy's got multiple touchdown games in two of the last three, 5 touchdowns the last 3 games. He's had very good matchups, but he's getting, just a ton of yards, almost 200 against Kansas City, 160 versus Jacksonville. I think I want to get a little bit of Derrick Henry. I'm going to throw in the Iron Bowl loss narrative in there too, that he's going to be hot and he's going to want to come out and stick it to these guys. So I'm going to sprinkle him in a little bit. He's going to be hard to do because I'm going to have McCaffrey in the same lineup, but I will have a taste of Derrick Henry. Jonathan Williams, like I said, he's okay. The price seems right, so sure. I know Javi was on Zach Pascal. He likes him as the wide receiver one. And then also looking over here at tight end, I love Jack Doyle going against Tennessee. They're 23rd ranked against the tight end. He should be acting as the wide receiver two here with no Eric Ebron. Doyle was out producing Ebron while Ebron was in the game. I love Doyle. I bet you do too. Who else you got from this
Yes,
game?
absolutely love Jack Doyle. I wrestled over the Henry thing all week. I think I'm going to pass on DraftKings just because he doesn't get those catches I'm looking for. He's minus 150 to score. If you needed that for FanDuel, I definitely think Derrick Henry's always in play. But yeah, I'm out on. I usually love picking on Tennessee's corners, but I'm out on this game. I think as a whole,
Okay.
I'm just gonna. Besides Jack Doyle, I think he is my favorite tight end play on the board regarding value. I like him just a little bit more than Higbee.
Yeah,
but you know what Doyle's going to do. It's like with Higbee, he's got 4 other receivers that could get all the work. So I don't know, if you're just using him for salary relief, I get it. But Jack Doyle is not much more expensive. He's only $800 more on DraftKings. Go with Jack Doyle.
Yep, and I'll touch on Ryan Tannehill here too. People are finally starting to ask about him. I recommended him last week, I think, from the Sirius show in New York.
You did. I was listening to it. He was off my player pool, and I was like, all right, I'll put him in a couple. He's awesome, I guess.
Yeah, I don't think it's the week for him this week. But he's looked great. I mean, I think he had almost as many fantasy points as Lamar Jackson, a stat I saw on Twitter or something in the past month or something. It doesn't sound right, but I don't know. He's been good. I'm not going to be on him this week though. Yeah, I just thought I'd mention him. He's fine though. Like he's steady. Like in season longs, you can play him. In big GPPs, I'm not going to be on him. Let's see. Moving on to the next one. We're going to get out of here in hopefully 20 minutes. I doubt it now, but San Francisco.
Real quick. Ron Lippard. This is a pivoting from Sanders to Ronald Jones. Good move. Yes, that's the guy. That's got to be your guy, right?
That's my guy. Yeah.
All right. Thank you. Yes, I'm off Sanders. I'm in on Rojo. Let's go. All right. Moving on. Sorry.
That's my guy. San Francisco at Baltimore. I've been talking plenty. Why don't you take this one, Nick?
All right. San Francisco at Baltimore. Weather's not too big of a concern, right? I do not think. Let me pull that up.
No, it's not one that's
just rainy. Just rainy, yeah. So Lamar Jackson's my QB1 on the board. You always got to play this dude. I don't think the matchup is as bad as we think. But I'm really starting to get into Mark Ingram, which I love his price on both sites. I wish he caught me. He's only $6K on DraftKings, but I'm starting to get a lot of FanDuel lineups in this morning when I was waking up because I really I'm going to pair Ingram with Lamar Jackson. I just think it's not really a correlation, but if this offense is going to score 40 points a game, they're both going to be a big part of that, and I think that's fine if you could afford it. And, and if they do hook up on a pass play or something, that's just free cheese. But I do love Mark Ingram a lot here. I love Lamar Jackson. I'm TBD on Marquise Brown. Every week I pair Hollywood Brown with Lamar Jackson. It kills me. I should just go naked Lamar every time. There's no reason to pair him up with a receiver. If you want to use the tight end, Mark Andrews, you can do that. But I just think that naked Lamar is one of the best plays in DFS every week. And there's nothing that's going to stop me from that.
Mark Ingram's got that Iron Bowl revenge narrative too.
That's true. That's right. Everybody's pissed off.
Especially me. Look, I love Lamar Jackson. I think people are sleeping on him. He just gets it done every week. He's not gonna bust. Like he's not gonna give you 5 points. Just put him in there. I like him a lot. He might go on my main team now because I'm getting a little scared off Mahomes. But that doesn't mean I'm not going to have any Mahomes. I rank him probably Jackson, Mahomes, Dalton for me with price included. You don't have to play Lamar Jackson with anyone. I think I'm just going to play him naked myself. Ingram, I get the play. Tevin Coleman, not there. I like the Baltimore defense better. At home, San Francisco traveling across the country in a little bit of rain, not that big a deal, but I do like the Baltimore defense here. And I heard some talk on George Kittle.
Love him.
You love him? Okay, talk to me about Kittle.
He does it every single game, right? Yeah. Last week, everybody thought he may come in as like the decoy and what he have like 28 points or something like that on DraftKings. He's only 6,100. if Baltimore can score at will like we think they can, I have no idea how San Francisco's going to scheme this game. I would assume they just play contain on Lamar, which kind of makes me, trying to figure out a game script here, which makes me like Marquise Brown a bit. But I don't know. These San Fran corners are so good. It's just so I'm just going to dumb this game down. Baltimore's going to score 28 plus points like they always do, and Kittle's going to be active in this passing game. At 6,100, I'm looking at him as a guy that's going to be right around 5% owned, and there's no doubt in my mind that he could be the number one tight end on the board this week. I don't like it as much. I'd rather go to Kelsey. But if ownership is going to be that down, I definitely think Kittle is going to be my tight end in my main GPP this week. I'm okay. Like, if that's my dart throw, is trusting George Kittle, I am more than okay with that.
Yeah, that's a good point. I'll get some Kittle in there now too. He should be a little under-owned for what he is. Let's go ahead and do you have anyone else from this game? You want me to take it?
No, I'm out. I'm out on Jimmy Garoppolo. I'm out on the running backs for San Fran. I like whose comment was Kyle Juszczyk revenge game. I guess if you want to buy into that, that's funny. But yeah, it's going to be mainly Lamar for me. I'm going to have a decent amount of Kittle. I'll hedge off of him with Kelsey and stuff and some other lineups. But if Kittle's 5% owned, I got to do that. That's fine.
Yeah, I hear you on that one. I agree. Next up, we've got a possibly windy game in Jacksonville. We're watching it right now. We'll check on it again. I'll pull it up here when Nick's talking and see if anything with the weather's changed. But it's got one of my favorite running backs from the slate over here, and that's going to be Ronald Jones. Jacksonville, you can target with the running backs. Derrick Henry destroyed them last week for 160 and 2 touchdowns. Before that, Williams from the Colts put up 116 on them. The week before that, Carlos Hyde put up 160 yards on these Jacksonville Jaguars. If it's windy, especially, Ronald Jones is like one of my favorite plays of the week. He should get a few more carries. He's looked good in his own right against he's against the teams he's been playing lately. They moved him into the lead back role like a month ago, and he's looked good to me. I love the price on him. I prefer him over Sanders. I do agree Sanders is a good price, but I'm just in love with Ronald Jones this week. Do you agree with my Ronald Jones take? And,
you have no idea how badly I needed that. I'm just trying to find a way to get off Sanders in my GPP lineups. Like I said, Sanders will be a lock for me in cash. But Ronald Jones, let's go. He finally got 50% of the snaps last week, and I think the only other game that he's had 50% of the snaps was week 9, and I believe that was his blow-up game against Arizona when we were very high on him on this exact show. Mm-hmm. So if you're high on him again, yes, I love it. Jacksonville is now 32nd in run DVOA. They're awful at stopping the run. And everybody's going to, try to get one of the Mike Evans or who's the other guy, Chris Godwin, in their lineups. Let's get leverage and go to Ronald Jones. It's just the one question mark here is opportunity, but I think it should be there this week. He's been solid. There's no reason to go back to Peyton Barber or Dyer or Ogumawale. Let's let Ronald Jones loose here, Arians, and I'm in. Thank you, David. I needed that so bad. It's a perfect price for me, 5,100 on DraftKings.
Hope
Ronald Jones. Let's do it.
And then on the other side, we've got Fournette. I'm not on Fournette. It's hard to run on Tampa, so I'm not playing him. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, flip a coin or make 2 teams. I think
Evans.
I'm going to
just go Evans. Yeah,
okay.
He's on DraftKings. He's 6,900. He's got a 6-catch prop, 90 all-purpose yards, minus 125 to score. Godwin is a little bit less on everything there, but I was just loving this matchup. The wind scares me now a little bit. Maybe I'm going to be off, but Mike Evans is going to have a lot of Trey Herndon, and that guy's awful for Jacksonville. I don't think he'll see much AJ Bouye, and even if he does, Bouye's getting torched this year. So I'm in on that. DJ Hayden's their best quarterback, and he'll get Godwin, but Godwin's awesome. So I don't know. It's just Mike Evans seems to be the guy this week. But again, do what Javi said. Do a lineup of each if you like this Tampa Bay passing game. But I'm done. Ronald Jones. That's what I'm using for Tampa Bay.
There you go. And it's still looking like 20 mile per hour sustained gust with gusts around 30. That's scary. That's high.
What about D.D. Westbrook then? Do you like him a lot? Because I know everybody's trying to figure out. Everybody loves DJ Chark. He's an absolute stud. He goes in the slot a little bit too.
Yeah.
But it's like just because the wind, I do not want to completely get off picking on Tampa Bay's pass defense. So that's the
Yeah,
one thing I'm a little bit nervous with. It's like, okay, 20-mile-an-hour winds. I'm scratching the best passing matchup on paper here,
I
maybe
know.
besides Green Bay. So it's like I want somebody. D.D. Westbrook's more of a PPR guy, so I think on DraftKings it makes perfect sense. He's going to get Murphy Bunting in the slot. Murphy Bunting's like 6'2" or 6'3", I think. Someone fact check me there, but he's not fast. So I don't see if wind is a factor. This makes sense for Didi, and then I guess Chark as well because he does go the slot too. But Chark's just a stud. I mean, if they're
I
on
know.
if they're in the red zone, like wind's not going to mess with those passes too much. So I don't
Yeah,
know. I think maybe my little mini game stack here is going to be Didi and Ronald Jones, and collectively it's going to cost you 10K on DraftKings, which is nothing. So you're getting exposure to what could be a shootout regardless of weather, and I think that's the way I'm going to go. Didi and Rojo.
I built 6 teams this week and had Chark on like 5 of them. But the weather is concerning me, so I'm gonna bump it down to like 2. And then try and get different on those other 4. I still like them. I still got to play them because of the matchup. The
Yeah.
price is insanely good. So I'm just limiting my exposure a little bit here. I'm hopping back over to the YouTube channel. Do we have any other questions? DJ Moore or Chark in GPP? Man, that is a tough question.
I'm gonna go Chark,
Okay.
but I don't know. I'm out on Kyle Allen, but DJ Moore's just been on fire, so I don't care whatever way you go. Season long, you got to start DJ Moore no matter what.
Yeah.
I think same with Chark, but I don't know. Like I said, just don't let the weather. If you loved Jacksonville's passing game, don't let the weather scare you off that because that's going to be the worst feeling in the world is when you're like, okay, Tampa Bay sucks against the pass and Jacksonville still goes off. So get some exposure, but
Yeah.
I still think I'm going to stand pat with DJ Chark there.
I'll tell you, Javi is very high on DJ Moore, and Javi is saying DJ Moore. I was Team Chark all week, so I'll stick with it and not change it even because of the weather. But I think that is very close, and I think that it might be worth making 2 teams, one with Chark, one with DJ Moore. But the next game we have up here is going to be the Jets at Cincinnati. Love this game. Love Dalton. We touched on it earlier. He is underpriced. I love Tyler Boyd. Tyler Boyd at home is a machine. He catches touchdowns at home, and he does not do it on the road. All of his touchdowns this season, I'm pretty sure, have come at home. All of his touchdowns last season, except for one, came at home. He's got his quarterback back. He's going to be the #1 guy over there. Let's go with him. Let's get a Tyler Boyd. I know you mentioned Tate earlier is a nice punt, and I even like Erickson a little bit. I think Andy Dalton has a great game. I think it's going to be hard for him to run it because it always is, because Joe Mixon isn't really turning out to be what they wanted him to be. So that is my plays on the Bengals side. And the Jets, I get the Darnold call. He looked good last week. It feels a little point chasey, but he also has a great matchup. Griffin, we like Griffin a lot at tight end. I think he's probably going to be about 6th on my tight end list. He could get in the end zone again, and he looks like a really talented guy. Aside from that, I don't have anyone else really. Perhaps a Crowder, but he's not really on my radar that much. Nick, do you have someone I'm missing out on or want to double down on any of these guys?
I think if this game does shoot out a little bit, I don't know if it's a shootout. I
Lev
think the
Bell.
totals 42.5. Yeah, I think we both love Lev Bell a lot. He's a lock for me in cash on DraftKings. But Robbie Anderson, every year this guy starts to tear it up at the end of the year. I feel like he's like a season-long hero for people. Whoever has Robbie Anderson towards the end of the year just starts winning games in season-long leagues. He's only 4,800 on DraftKings. He's going to see a lot of BW Webb, who's the worst corner on Cincinnati. So I like that a great deal in a GPP. I think if I'm going to use Dalton and either Auden Tate or Tyler Boyd, I'm definitely leaning Boyd. But if my build can't afford Boyd, I'm going to Auden Tate. I'm out on Erickson. I just don't see the upside. Watch him score twice today, whatever. But I think I want to wheel it on the other side with either Lev Bell or Robbie Anderson. You guys know I'm anti-Jamison Crowder, so I can't play him. I got to stick to my guns based on pride. He's always a great play. But I think if I'm trying to win a GPP, I don't think Crowder's a guy to get me there on the Jet side. I think it's Robbie Anderson, and that's what I'm going to go with.
Okay, yeah, hey, that's a good GPP punt. I wasn't looking him at all. That's the definition of Robbie Anderson, right? All or nothing, GPP guy. So I hope he wins you a lot of money.
Thank you. Yeah. Rojo will do it. I'll just text you every time Ronald Jones takes off for 10, 15 yards and
Okay.
I'll just start buying stuff online, assuming I'm going to win.
I'll be watching. I'm going for another qualifier today too. Maybe I'm getting greedy. I'm going to try and double down and get another one, and it's going to be a lot of Ronald Jones.
Let's go.
Let's do it. Let's go. So I
thoughts on Demaryius Thomas, real quick. Do you like him at all or no? He's just one of those guys that's under 4K for me on DraftKings. That's kind of popping a little bit.
Under 4K, yeah. I look at FanDuel mostly. Then I do FanDuel before the show and DK after. So man,
he's got a 4-catch prop, and I haven't seen that for Demaryius Thomas since he was with Peyton Manning. Which 4 catches isn't crazy, but he's only 3,600. So if he gets 4 catches, he's getting you 3x value. So that's kind of how I'm looking at it.
Yeah, 3,600. You can play DT. You got to squeeze someone in there. Isaiah's asking Higbee or Griffin. I think that is a tough question. I will go with Griffin because we've been seeing him do it, and Higbee's in a great matchup, but Griffin looks good. Do you agree or disagree with that?
Yeah, for sure. My thing with Higbee, there's Robert Woods, there's Brandon Cooks, there's Todd Gurley, there's Cooper Kupp. I don't see Higbee going off. If Higbee does anything, it's going to be 3 catches for 11 yards and a touchdown. So go with Griffin there, I think. Let's get off this Higbee chalk a little bit. Unless it's a cash game, then do whatever you want. I think both are fine.
I'm looking at this lineup you sent: Rustling, Holmes, CMC, Jones, Shepard, Kupp, Boyd, Doyle, Sanders, Steelers defense. Only thing that worries me there, I think Nick, you said you like Shepard. The win scares me there, and I don't know. The rest of it looks pretty good to me.
Yeah, so, I'm fine with. I'm absolutely fine with Shepard. I don't think the win's going to affect him at all in the slot. He's not a guy that's going to go get a bunch of deep balls, but I think if Green Bay finds a way to score 25-plus points, Shepard should have 7-plus catches. They got to play catch up. So I don't know. But watch Saquon go off. But to me, it's just Green Bay should only scheme to stop Saquon and let somebody else beat them, and that guy should be Shepard.
Next game, we've got 3 left. Oakland at KC. I will give you another weather update when Nick starts talking about it here. But clearly, Patrick Mahomes and this offense are in a great spot. Kansas City is going to win this game. I'm going to go look for some kind of money line props to bet on with these guys. But they are going to win. It's Andy Reid coming off a bye. Oakland traveling to Kansas City. Tyreek Hill is dealing with this weird hammy thing. It seems like every week he gets going and then he goes off to the sideline because he pulls this hammy. He's in the most elite spot, I think, on the slate, but the hammy is starting to worry me a little bit. I think Kelsey might actually be the better play over Hill now because we know he's healthy and he's turned it on. He's looking like Travis Kelsey again. So I think I lean with a Mahomes-Kelsey stack here. Also, if it's windy, which it is, Tyreek Hill is a downfield threat guy. Kelsey can catch it wherever, closer, to the line of scrimmage, 15, 20 yards down. It's an easier pass to make with the wind. So I'm leaning Kelsey here. What do you like on this KC side, and what do you like on this Oakland side, Nick?
Love Kelsey. Absolutely love Travis Kelsey. He's going to be win-proof no matter what. And then on the other side, I love Darren Waller. I think Kansas City's defense allows the most receptions to opposing tight ends, and there's no Hunter Renfrow. So this should be Waller. I was reading Gruden talk about this. I think Waller's going to go with the slot now and play a lot of receiver this week because they just need that spot is so important to their offense. So I love Waller. I love Kelsey. I don't know how you don't love Mahomes. Again, don't let the weather scare you. If you loved Mahomes all week, ride it. Let's go. It's just Tyreek Hill's so damn expensive. He's $8,900 on DraftKings, but he's going to be like 10% owned. So Tyreek Hill makes perfect sense in GPPs. It's just going to be Kelsey and Waller for me. I don't know how I feel about Josh Jacobs. Usually everybody loves to pick on Kansas City's run defense, but they've been solid lately. Not great, but I don't know. I think to me, if this game finds a way to shoot out, it's going to be Kelsey and Waller that are doing a ton of the work. I like Nicole Hardman. He's very cheap on DraftKings. I think he is 4,200. Yeah, and he's going to play the slot a lot. So I like him. Nicole Hardman's kind of my sleeper there. If I'm not using I may do a Mahomes, Hardman, and Kelsey stack, and then I may go double tight end this week and play Waller in the flex because I think I'm looking at Waller like he's a receiver this week, and at 5,500, I like that a lot.
I like it a lot too. That price is great, and I really like that breakdown and throwing in Hardman there too. Look, the weather still looks like 15, 20 mile per hour winds with gusts over 30. Not great, but elite matchup. I actually do like Josh Jacobs on the Oakland side some. You can run on Kansas City, but Andy Reid knows that too, and he has been trying to prevent it during this bye week. So, and also, Oakland's going to want to enforce the run to try and keep Mahomes in this offense off the field. So they're going to give it to Jacobs to start this game and see what he can do. And if he's looking good, then they're going to stick with it. If it's not working, then they're going to have to abandon it. But I do like Jacobs. His price is a touch high on FanDuel, but if you have the salary to go there, I'd do it. But I like Lev Bell better. I think Lev Bell's cheaper.
Yeah, same here. Josh Jacobs is he's 6,900 on DraftKings. That's not cheap. It's not expensive though, but I'd rather just go up to Lev Bell for 300 more because if Kansas City does start scoring like crazy, we're going to see Josh Jacobs leave the field, and it's going to be Jalen Richard. Yeah. So if I'm paying a decent price for what should be my RB2 in DFS this week, I want a guy that's going to be on the field no matter what. So that's going to be Lev Bell.
Ron Lippard's asking Noah Fant more targets with this new QB. I don't know that I can guarantee more targets with him. I'm not really a Noah Fant guy. I haven't been playing him, and I've been fine. I hear he's doing well though. Are you on Noah Fant at all?
No, I want nothing to do with any. I'm sitting Sutton this week too. Again, it's an investment, and Drew Lock is starting today for Denver. Let's wait and see. If anything, this gives Philip Lindsay a bump up. I didn't like him last night when I was changing the article, but now with Drew Lock for sure starting, it should just be a run-heavy game. I think Font's fine. If you're starting him in season long, keep doing it. I would assume Drew Lock. I mean, it's kind of like an unknown. Everybody says rookie quarterbacks love their tight end. Is that true? I've never actually ran some data on that. But these prices at tight end, just go with, if you're thinking about Noah Font, just go to Jack Doyle, like we talked about earlier. Use Griffin or Dallas Goedert. Like there's more proven commodities out there that you don't really need to roll the dice on Noah Font with a first-time starter who was terrible in college. I do not like Drew Lock at all. I do not think he's long for the NFL. Yeah,
well, Clayton Duffy and Emark Ingram love. Yeah, Nick was on him. Isaiah's asking Sammy Watkins. He's unpredictable, dude. I think you might be getting a little too weird, unless you're trying to win $1 million. And then Ron Litford is Shepard, a better play than Westbrook for high dollar GPP single entry. Those are two of your guys, Shepard and Westbrook. Who do you like better?
I'm having Ron. I'm having that same kind of decision on some of my lineup, especially in like a 3-entry max tournament. I'm trying to move it around a little bit. Oh man, Shepard is going to be insanely popular. He's going to be like 20% owned, and Dede is going to be down in the 10s. So to me, it depends on your build. If you're going super chalk, like if you got McCaffrey and Sanders in there, then I'm going to go to Dede to get a little bit different because you don't want like, over 170% aggregate ownership on your lineup. Right. So it depends on your build. If you're going crazy elsewhere, I think just go with Shepard because he is going to get double-digit points. Dede should, but I'm not guaranteeing that by any means. So to me, it depends on your build. I do like Dede a little bit more though in a GPP, and then I'm just going to get my Shepard exposure with cash gains.
2 games left. We've got the Chargers going to Denver. We just kind of touched on Denver where we're not really on this Denver offense. I do like Philip Lindsay a little bit. I think he had a good game against the Chargers last year maybe, but that doesn't mean much. It's just one of the only guys on that offense I trust right now, but there's a lot better running back spots. I'd play him in like season long. I might throw him in one DFS lineup just as and hope I get lucky, but he's not one of my top guys. On the Chargers, they should win this game, but it's the Chargers. You never know. They'll probably be winning for 3 quarters and blow it in the 4th. But I'm not really targeting this game either. But you do have some good offensive weapons for the Chargers, none of which I wrote up. Did you write any of these guys up? Are they in your cheat sheet or anything?
Well, I was traveling too much this week to write anything. But, yes, I believe Keenan Allen made the cheat sheet. He kills Denver. Because he avoids Chris Harris, and that's my favorite corner in the NFL is Chris Harris. Keenan Allen is going to get Duke Dawson. This is why I love Jarvis Landry a couple weeks ago against Denver, and he had a big game. I think Keenan Allen is an absolute lock today. He's going to be 5% owned on DraftKings. He's only 6,400. Again, we were talking about guys that you can get off of Devontae Adams with. Go to Keenan Allen, in my opinion. It's always nice to have some security blanket in those 3 o'clock games. Sounds like everybody we're kind of talking up is in these noon games, besides Casey and Oakland. Yeah. So I am going to have Keenan Allen will be in my main lineup for sure. I'll tell you that right now, because it sounds like David talked me into Aaron Jones. So I'm going to get off of Devontae Adams. I'll go to Aaron Jones. Well, yeah, he's in too. I'm going the Jones brothers here.
Okay.
So my Green Bay exposure is going to be Aaron Jones, I think, in my main lineup, and then Ronald Jones to pivot off of Sanders, and then for my wide receiver 1 or 2 spot, depending on what I do with McCaffrey, I'm going to have a lot of Keenan Allen today. I think he's a lock for 18 points. I like Hunter Henry a lot too, but against Duke Dawson, Keenan Allen kills these guys every year. And I won a lot of money on this exact game last year with Keenan Allen. He was like 5% ownership, and he destroyed Denver. I'll try to look up his splits here, but you go ahead and keep talking. But yeah, I just love Keenan Allen. I'm not going to roll the dice on Melvin Gordon or Eckler. I don't see this being an Eckler game script, but I don't know. I'll let you take it away.
Yeah, sold. I like what you're saying on Allen there. I like Hunter Henry too, but if Keenan Allen's the guy that's going to get targeted here in a game that they should win and not have to throw too much on, we never know with Phillip Rivers. But I think I'm starting to like Allen a little more than Henry. Henry is a great tight end, but we have a lot of great tight end spots. I'd rather go, like a Kelsey or a Waller or pay down for a Doyle. But I'd probably rank Henry like 4th in my tight end list. Aside from that, I don't have anyone else in this game I'm on. What about
Mike Williams? It's just, I don't know, man. What does Mike Williams do?
Right.
I'm out on him, but he's a guy that could blow it up.
Bunch of people are talking about the Chargers defense too. I like defenses at home, but it makes sense going against this quarterback. You can do it. I think it's going to be popular, and I don't like popular defenses. Any take on Chargers D?
I definitely think they're in play. Derwin Williams is back today. He's one of the best safeties in the NFL. So that helps. But yeah, I don't know if they're going to be insanely popular. And they're pretty expensive, aren't they?
I think
they're 3,100. They're 3,100 on DraftKings. Yeah, I'm cool with the Chargers for sure. But like you said, I'd prefer to go to the guys at home.
Over on FanDuel, I'm going to pull them up real quick. Chargers 3,900 over there, which is actually, you know what? That's a pretty good price too. Maybe I take that back. It's a good matchup and it's a good price. So I don't hate the Chargers D, even though I hate the Chargers D. Then next we've got the Rams. Last game, the Rams at Arizona. Jared Goff has looked bad, guys. He hasn't thrown a touchdown in 3 weeks. But the Arizona Cardinals are a good pass defense to target. I like Cooper Kupp as a gut play comeback game. He is a great wide receiver. He's just had a few bad games. It happens. It's the NFL. He strung together 3 games of over 20 points earlier in the season. I don't like that Arizona's coming off a bye week, and their defense has looked slightly better, better from bad the past couple of weeks. I was considering punting a defense with Arizona, but I think I'm getting off of that now. Gurley, I'm not going to be on him. You've got Higbee, who's going to be stepping in as the tight end 1 against the Cardinals, which is a great spot to target. Higbee is not really, he's not the most talented guy on the offense, right? They've got plenty of pass options to go to. So on DraftKings, he makes more sense because he's cheaper and you can get anyone you want in your lineup, and it's a great matchup to target. But with all the good tight end, options this week, it's I'm not locking him into my main. And then on the Arizona side, I started looking at Kyler Murray a little bit last night when I was laying in bed, saying I haven't even been thinking about this guy. He did pop up with a hamstring issue on Friday at practice, I think. So that's going to pivot me off of him. If he didn't have this hamstring thing popping up for a running quarterback, I'd like him a lot more. And if you want something really weird, if you want just a punt running back, I'm going to go back and give you Kenyon Drake. Another, not because of this.
The Iron Bowl
revenge. Yeah. But he's the lead back there. I mean, he beat out David Johnson. You do have Chase Edmonds back, and they do like Chase Edmonds, so that's a little bit scary. I could see him splitting more touches, but he's looked good. He's involved in the pass game, 7 targets the past 2 games. So there's just the punt guy, but I would prefer Ronald Jones and probably Miles Sanders over him. Do you have any other guys that I have overlooked in this game?
I think you're overlooking Todd Gurley.
Okay.
I love Todd Gurley today.
Okay.
6,500 on DraftKings. He's starting to get a lot more work. They took him off the field last week, I think, simply to rest up for this game when they were getting their ass kicked by Baltimore.
Okay.
The price is right. They need to win games now, right?
Uh-huh.
They're all in on this roster. They have no draft picks left. So, like, this is the year for the Rams. And I'm sorry to hear, to say that if you're a Rams fan, because it's probably not going to happen, but they're going to give it their all. Everybody destroys Arizona's defense, running, passing, whatever the case may be. I think this is a game that, the Rams have a 25.5 implied team total. Pretty solid number there. I was all in on Goff most of the week. I don't know if I'm going to do that because I really don't know who to pair him with besides Cooper Kupp. And I like Robert Woods a lot. I think Peterson will stay with Cooks most of the day, but he could burn him too. It's just like there's so many damn guys to pair him with. But we were talking about it early. I'm glad we saved this game for last. These games that weather's not an issue, this is the highest total on Vegas's board with no weather concerns. So I'm going to be heavily invested in it. I think I do like Kyler Murray a little bit. He won't make my main 3 GPP lineups, but he will be in probably number 4, number 5. But I think I'm going to be insanely over the field in Todd Gurley. Just at that price with that implied total against this defense. I don't think Darrell Henderson's going to see the field at all. I don't see Malcolm Brown coming in and doing much. This is a must-win game, so they need to lean on Todd Gurley. I don't think they could play the whole we're going to save him for the playoffs thing or whatever they were doing last year, and they didn't even use him in the playoffs. I don't know. But Todd Gurley is one of my top 5 plays on the board this week, and then Cooper Kupp as well. I absolutely love him. The way to kill Arizona is through the slot, and that's why these tight ends do so well, because the tight ends that actually are scoring on them are usually playing the slot when they score their touchdown. They're not lining up on the line, besides George Kittle, but he's a freak, so I don't know. I love Kupp, and I love Gurley.
Okay, you sold me. You give me Gurley, I give you Ronald Jones. I'm laughing.
Right. Hopefully we're not yelling at each other later today, but yeah, I am in on Gurley for sure.
I'm laughing because apparently I said I think about Kyler Murray when I'm laying in bed. So
don't we all, though?
Yeah, that's great.
Dual sport athlete, great arm. What's not to like?
There you go. That's right. Saving me. All right, let's go through real quick. Let's knock out our favorite plays from each position and then go build some lineups. We're gonna start over here at quarterback. I'll give you my top guy. You know how it goes. We'll pass it back and forth. I'm gonna go with it's tough. It's between Mahomes and Jackson for me. Who's your guy? Let me think about this.
I mean, Lamar Jackson's the safest. Yeah. I think Mahomes is. I mean, if ownership's on Mahomes, I don't know. It should be a blow-up game. I still like Rodgers a little bit, but I think I'm going to be heavy Dalton, heavy Lamar.
Yeah.
And I guess now I'm starting to roll the dice on Jared Goff.
Yeah, I thought about it heavily, but he's too high priced for me. But gosh, that's a good matchup. Doesn't he? Where's Jared Goff is from California? Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't know which side of the earth that the sun set on, so he's not a book guy.
Yeah, he's not a scholar. My 3 QBs are Jackson, Mahomes, and Dalton. So that's I think
that's my 3 too, and then Goff being 3B, if you want to call it that.
We love Christian McCaffrey at running back. The guy I'm going to give you is Ronald Jones. Who are you going to give us, Nick?
Yeah, McCaffrey, obviously, and now I'm on Ronald Jones because I need a way to get off Sanders, and then Aaron Jones and Todd Gurley, and then Mark Ingram as well. But I like Todd Gurley more.
All right, sounds good. I am on board with all those. I'm going to make some Gurley teams. Now I'm over here looking at wide receiver. I'm trying to pull up my rankings here. Do you have a guy you want to throw out for me first while I
Yeah, Cooper Kupp for me. Now that
Okay.
we're moving a little bit off Adams, I'm still going to have Adams in cash, but I think my main tournaments here are going to have Cooper Kupp and then Keenan Allen, and then probably due to price there, because I can't play everybody at 6,500 or above, I think Auden Tate will then be the guy. I love Tyler Boyd as well. I know Javi's high on him. DJ Moore, I probably won't be able to afford DJ Moore, but I'll get some exposure just so I don't get killed by that. And then, yeah, I wanted to play Hollywood Brown with Lamar, but I'm just going to play him naked when I do. I like Chris Conley a ton for 4,500.
Mm-hmm.
And then Dede Westbrook as well. But, yeah, main three will be Kupp, Keenan, and Shepard, I guess.
I'm going to go with Devontae Parker, Tyler Boyd, DJ Chark. Those are my three. I've been on them all week. I'm not going to pivot too much now. Over at tight end, we've got Travis Kelce is my top guy as far as raw points go. But if you want to look for a value guy, I'm going to give you Doyle for the Colts. Who you got?
Yeah, it's going to be Kelce, Waller, Kittle, and Doyle for me.
Yep, love it. Love it all. Get a team with each of them. Get a team with two of them. I don't care. It looks good. Favorite defense?
You could play double tight end this week.
You can definitely play double tight end this week. My favorite defense that I think is going to be low owned is going to be the Pittsburgh Steelers. I also like Baltimore a lot. And man, the Chargers price seems good. I don't want to play the Chargers, but it seems good. Who do you got?
Yeah, Chargers and Baltimore.
Okay, Chargers, Baltimore. Let's see. Who do you have I'm kind of putting you on the spot here. Do you have a defense priced high that you think is a bad play, like maybe Philadelphia or these Jets?
I do. No, I like Philadelphia. They've been really solid lately. No one's scoring on them. So I get what you were saying if they're the highest defense on the board, but I think they could tear it up today. A high-priced defense that's a bad play on draft.
I wouldn't play the Jets. The Jets
no.
High price,
yeah, I'm not going to play the Jets just because we're obviously very interested in the Dalton side of this game. No, I really don't. I'm off Cleveland Browns. They're not expensive, but I'm not eating that chalk for the Cleveland Browns now.
That's the one, and I also like the Carolina Panthers. But look, that's going to do it for us, guys. I think. Do you have anything else you want to throw in, Nick?
No, sir. Let's start building. I will try my best if I'm done building at like 11:30. I'll try to update you guys on whatever injury news I hear. Obviously, Ertz is a big one.
Yeah.
Kyler's a full go, so don't worry about that. If you like Kyler, or I mean, if Kyler didn't play, I'd be off Gurley because I have no idea how that game would go. But Kyler's in, and then if there's any weather updates, I'm sure one of us will get in Discord and let you guys know. But I think for the most part, we covered the weather as much as possible. Again, I would just say if you loved them all week, don't be too crazy with the weather, but just know Vegas did drop the total in Green Bay 4 points. So that's something to be aware of. And then Kansas City has dropped, I think, 3 points as well. So,
hey, so I'm just reading. Hey, Javi, thanks for hopping in here and answering some of these questions. Javi's screaming Kyle Allen season. It's his favorite quarterback. So we'll leave you with that. And you can.
I'm not playing Kyle Allen. Yeah, I don't know why he loves Kyle Allen so much. Last week it worked. The week before that it killed you. The total's 39 points. Get off that. Just use McCaffrey or more.
So blame Javi when Kyle Allen busts. I'm kidding. He might be a good play. I'm Tenacious D Jones, David Jones over at WInDailySports.com. Follow me on Twitter at Tenacious D Jones. I'm with Nick. He's at Sticks022. Thanks for joining us. Send us your screenshots if you win a lot of money, if you helped us, if you play Kyle Allen and lose. Tag Javi. We appreciate it. Have a great Sunday, guys. Thanks for coming.
All right, go get them.